All right, everyone. We have a disturbing disturbing leak actually from the United States Defense Department. Link in the description, archived, of course, indicating, and this was top secret. It was for the Five Eyes only. I don't like that data sharing agreement myself because it allows one nation to spy on another nation's citizens, thus bypassing their constitutional rights. I'm sure this happens on a routine basis. It looks like the Israelis are maneuvering to attack Iran. This is concerning on multiple levels. First, it represents a significant exacerbation of the situation. And it's already a bad situation. Gaza's been completely overrun. People are now almost ignoring Gaza in favor of looking to Lebanon, their southern border. The Israelis have created a denial zone basically there and saying, no, we're not going to let anyone in that area. Bomb anything that moves in there. That's quite, quite different from before. Understandable maybe logistically, but how many civilians are dying in the process? The world may never know. And now they're talking about directly attacking Iran, supposedly in retaliation for them threatening to kill Netanyahu. Okay, well, that makes sense. See, the problem is that the Biden administration is blundering into an open war right now. This is what concerns me. I've remained steadily neutral between Palestine and Israel in this particular fight. Because, I'm over here in the United States. I have nothing to do with the Middle East. Even if I'm over in Europe, the Netherlands is quite a distance from the Levant region, so I don't have as much skin in the game. But now the Biden administration has sent U.S. troops in a THAAD system to Israel. So our troops are basically sitting there with their thumbs up their asses waiting to get hit by an Iranian missile or something like that. Thus an act of war that would necessitate a military response. Do we really want another one of these endless wars? Did we not learn our lesson from Afghanistan? Hell, when Iraq is a stunning success compared to all of the other dust-ups we've been in since the fucking 1980s, don't you think that at some point we can fucking cool down? I don't think we should have U.S. troops in the region. I think we should just skedaddle out of the region. Focus on the Houthis that are firing on our ships. Go ahead and focus on them if you want to. Just make sure that they're targeted strikes and you're not killing a bunch of civilians and then call it a day. We do have to keep the sea lanes open. If Iran starts to try to throttle naval movements or something like that, respond accordingly and situationally. Do we really need to put troops on the ground in Israel to effectively be sitting ducks? And by the way, when you look up, let's say, the USS Liberty incident, or, the nuclear triggers that were stolen, that were subject to that Pentagon report back in '84 that was only released to the public in semi-redacted form under the Trump administration, can we count on the Israeli government to not say, well, if we let these U.S. soldiers get hit, then the United States will join us in open war against the Iranians? Well, that sounds like a good idea now, doesn't it? Uncle Sam will come in and then we'll say, oh, you've got to save us. Your troops just got slaughtered by the Iranians or by Hezbollah or something. Are you going to respond? The Biden administration probably would just say, come on, man, that's a red line in the sand you just crossed. I'm going to embargo your goods and something like that. What if the subsequent administration decides, hey, it's actually a good idea to get involved? Trump, I don't believe, would actually enter an open war with the Iranians. He has talked about bombing nuclear sites, but I don't think there'd be like a land invasion or anything like that. But what about Kamala? What if Kamala's in charge? I've said repeatedly since she jumped into the race, if she becomes the president of the United States, she's going to feel pressure to create and engage in a major invasion, a major war, to show that she's one of the guys. Well, I'm the first female president. Well, I have to distinguish myself. I'm going to be held to a different standard. I have to be tough. Because all these dudes there, they're considered tough, well, not Biden, but in general, U.S. presidents, they have to, speak very loudly and carry the big stick. I prefer Trump's methodology, I think, a little bit better. Let's say, God forbid, though, that Kamala's the next president of the United States. Wouldn't that be the perfect opportunity to start a regional escalation? Oh, she's handed it on a silver platter. By the way, there are adversaries, including the Russians, that would love for that to happen. Oh, we'll drag the United States into another forever war. They can spend trillions of dollars and eventually lose. And they'll be humiliated yet again. They would love this. They would love the idea. They're openly being antagonistic towards us anyway. And then we're putting troops in the region. What a splendid idea. See, the problem is you've also got Assad's forces. Believe it or not, he still has plenty of tanks and everything else drawn right up on the border. You've got the Lebanese government kind of working with the United States, but that could change at any time. You've got Hezbollah. You've got Hamas. Egypt tries its best to remain neutral, but there's no telling what they may do at any given point. About the only player with any significance in the region that is more solidly on the western side, and then, not always, is Turkey. Are you going to rely upon Turkey in order to enter this region and do damage? Are the Turks going to get involved with the Iranians? This could turn into a major, major conflict. If I was the president of Egypt right now, I'd be shitting bullets. I'd be saying, there, oh, please don't pop off. I'm trying my best to remain neutral. Can you just fucking calm down? Saudi Arabia and Iran. There was going to be a rapprochement. The Abraham Accords, passed by Trump, of course, settled down the region some. It was peace through strength, effectively. That was the U.S. policy. Peace through strength. Don't fuck with us. We're going to speak real softly to you. Oh, you'll get all sorts of goodies if you're playing nice. Otherwise, we're going to whack you in the head with the stick if you fuck with us. That's the policy that we do need. Instead, we've got this weak, feckless policy where it's speak really loudly with bellicose rhetoric, threatening people, and then not have the means to actually follow through. Why the hell do you think that Putin waited until a few months after Biden took office to invade Ukraine? Because he didn't face any repercussions for doing so. He knew that U.S. leadership was weak. Why is Iran popping off? Why did Hezbollah pop off? Why did Hamas pop off? Why are the Israelis acting with impunity? Normally, the United States is capable of saying, okay, Bibi, you gotta calm down here. You've already killed the entire leadership of Hamas. What more do you fucking want? Well, we want our hostages. Well, they're probably already dead by now. You probably killed them with your own bombs. They were probably in some of those buildings you already collapsed. You're never going to find all the hostages. What are you going to do? Sift through the wreckage and find every jawbone in order to match dental records like you did with the now former leader of Hamas? Is that what you intend to do? Goodness. This war could last for years. The problem is the longer it lasts, the more possibility there is of a catastrophic failure, a big accident, or a big escalation that leads to a true regional conflict, if it's not even properly already labeled one. It technically already is. Iran and Israel have already exchanged fire. It's just that it was a feint. Israel strikes a couple targets, Iran retaliates, strikes a couple of targets, Iron Dome mainly takes care of it. Iran's anti-missile systems are capable of defending against a limited barrage, and then they calmed down and said, well, we don't want a wider war between our two nations. Now we've got a leaked document, though, saying, oh, the Israelis are basically mobilizing and they're preparing to attack Iran. Now, the one saving grace is that they're saying, well, according to what I've seen, this was, I think, the Secretary of Defense, according to what I've seen, there's no indicator the Israelis intend to use nukes on Iran. Well, thank goodness. That makes me feel so much safer at night. Makes me feel so good. So you're not going to nuke them yet. Right now, you're just going to, conduct targeted strikes or something directly over Iran. At what point does Russia, by the way, get bogged down in the region as well? That could happen. Turkey could take initiative and go and steamroll the Kurds and enter Iran or something like that. The Iranians could invade one of their neighbors. The Saudis could get involved. Pakistan could get involved. They've got some limited battlefield nukes. Egypt could decide to waver in its neutrality and, be encouraged by both sides to pick a side. Really, it's about the side of, hey, calm the fuck down and let people live their lives versus, hey, let's kill them all, yay. And there seem to be, unfortunately, a lot of the latter on both so-called sides. So it's very, very concerning. And by the way, if Israel does directly attack Iran, that's going to really force me to reevaluate my full neutrality in the situation. Because we do have U.S. troops there. No thank you. That's about all. Peace out.